It's been 10 years since Bitcoin was introduced, and hardly anyone uses it to actually pay for things. The dream of cryptocurrency replacing fiat in everyday transactions has not come true. What happened? Cryptocurrencies are one-size-fits-all. Decisions made by the original team affect everybody. Years ago, 20 Bitcoins could buy a pizza. Then, a few years later, a car. And now, 20 Bitcoins could buy a house. Most cryptocurrencies became a store of value and speculative investments, and they are not being used by people as a medium of exchange. Today, almost all cryptocurrencies live on monolithic global networks. To work, they have to reach a global consensus about all transactions around the world. As the network grows, this process gets expensive and slow. However, the internet is not one monolithic global network. It's a network of local networks. Each local network has its own policies and infrastructure. Most communication just happens locally, and the internet is used for communicating between networks. So, what if someone built a payment network designed to work more like the internet? That's Intercoin. Intercoin's design has three major advantages. Technology. Instead of keeping all transactions on one global ledger, Intercoin is an open-source software that communities can use to run their own payment network for their own members. There's no reason why someone buying coffee in New York should wind up on the same ledger as someone buying a house in France. Most payments happen locally as the currency circulates. Global payments between communities only happen once in a while. Who can be a community? Buildings, universities, cruises, companies, nonprofits, townships, cities, or even entire countries, like the Marshall Islands that just passed a bill creating the world's first sovereign cryptocurrency. Common affairs communities can profoundly benefit from our design. Artists and creators, developers, gamers, organic farmers, even healthy living communities like runners or yoga practitioners. The possibilities are endless. Intercoin can help connect them all fast with no fees, making it a viable and sustainable medium of exchange. Economics. Here's how it works. Consider what happens when a casino issues its own chips. People can cash in and cash out of the local economy. No one carries $1 million of chips outside of the casino because they're worthless out there. However, the casino never runs out of its own currency. Now, what if, instead of chips, we've built something smarter? A currency that individuals could be sure that no one could take from them, tailored to their communities. Envision a university that could take money from its donors and then issue currency to their students to use at their local vendors. The vendors accept the digital currency and cash out whenever needed, and donors can be confident about how the money is being used. Another benefit is speed. Bitcoin takes 30 minutes and $25 to process a payment transaction, even if it's just a cup of coffee. Intercoin enables free, easy, and nearly instant transactions, locally or globally, and there are no fees, even for global payments. Vendors can pay their employees in the Intercoin economy, and again, no fees. For example, Carol uses her digital currency from Harvard to buy a new Louis Vuitton bag straight from a Paris vendor. The vendor in Paris receives her money and can spend it any way they want. Local fintech. Intercoin opens a world of new possibilities because each community can manage its own local currency. Imagine making micropayments to your favorite apps for services or content. These apps could make payments to content creators based on how much users interact with their services or content. Intercoin helps any project or fundraiser to peg their local coin to an outside currency, whether it's fiat or crypto, making it a stable coin. People who own coins running on other technologies will be able to exchange them for virtual versions powered by Intercoin, which enjoy much faster transaction times and total liquidity between currency pairs. Thus, Intercoin can begin to power a trustless, decentralized exchange. Intercoin also enables ICOs and fundraising for those starting a new project without having to use Ethereum. Intercoin pay buttons can be integrated into just about any purchase, just as PayPal or Apple Pay already exist. Whether it's WeChat in China, KakaoTalk in Korea, or Line in Japan, popular social network companies have added their own mobile payment services as well, and Asian markets are truly living an economic revolution as their user base expands. Now, any given community can have their own payment network. Imagine if, instead of giving money to a charity, you could donate money directly to the groups who need it, knowing it will be used by the people on the ground. Universal basic income is a way to give continuous income streams to every member of a community, so they can make their own decisions on how to spend it. Across the world, universal basic income is gaining traction in communities like Kenya, Canada, Italy, and even Silicon Valley. It's something that has been advocated for by people across the political spectrum. Free markets theorist and Nobel Prize economist Milton Friedman said it would increase people's incentive to work because people wouldn't lose their benefits by starting a job. Civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr. called for a basic income as a way to ensure greater equality of opportunity for marginalized communities. Since money circulates in the community, each member can see exactly how the money is being spent, and this enables them to participate in decisions about the community's monetary policies. For example, if the median price of food was $15 a day, the community could decide to cover 50% of the cost of food for everyone by issuing a basic income. Tech titans like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson believe that we should explore ideas like universal basic income as machines begin to replace humans in many jobs. The US contains one of the few places this policy has been tried at scale: Alaska. The Alaska Permanent Fund has paid out an annual dividend to every man, woman, and child living in Alaska since 1982. A truly universal cash transfer program. No strings attached. Not many people know, but communities around the world have already created their local currency. Brighton in England even honored David Bowie and famous former residents like Vincent van Gogh on their notes. What about Disney dollars with Mickey Mouse on them? Whether it's the country of Greece joining the euro, the city of Detroit losing dollars every year, or residents in the south corner of London trying to cut down on food miles, we see the benefit for communities to have their own currency, understand how it's being used, and democratically control their money supply. Intercoin is kept on full reserve to allow anyone to cash out at any time. Intercoin is a revolutionary way to solve the many failings of economics today. Instant transactions, real transparency, and true democratic control of policy. Sound money, individual choice, true democracy. These are the values we promote. You've seen just a few possible applications of Intercoin. Once Intercoin launches, developers around the world will come up with lots of new ways to help communities manage their own money. And that's why we're so excited about this project. Intercoin, empowering communities.